Welcome to the Hobart commuter. I want to check in today on the progress of UTAS moving into the city from the Sandy Bay campus. It's been a while since I've done it and a few things have changed. The first is UTAS has a new VC, so we've gone from having Peter Raston, who really drove this project very hard in conjunction with the University Council, to Rufus Black, who's picked up the baton, and I think he's going to run with it as well. But the other circumstances have changed, his priorities have changed. So, sort of in conjunction with talking about UTAS's move into the city and students using bicycles and how the city was going to adapt to that, when I began this channel, there was also the issue of traffic. So traffic congestion had become pretty unbearable for the city, actually. And more people were using bikes, which I thought it might be interesting to document why or how the city would respond to that in terms of changing the bike infrastructure. So that's an ongoing thing. Now, it turns out there was certain speculation on why the traffic had become so bad, but I don't think there's any doubt about it now. It was just sheer influx of numbers. As of January 2018, Hobart is now the fastest growing capital city in Australia, which is quite a turnaround from the time that I came here. Population growth was a real issue for this state. There's just mass exodus of young people. People would just leave. There was real worries about it. And now a combination of a real push, really probably pushing very hard on tourism, I think, has been the big driver. We've just got a massive influx of people, and that's put tremendous stress on infrastructure. Not only roads, but probably most crucially on housing. So we've got what some people are calling now a housing crisis. Now I'm just going to pause for a minute. You see that red sign in front of me there? There's the big UTAS, University of Tasmania, future development coming soon to this site. I'm just going to pull over here and just talk about that for a second. So this is the site that's going to be developed by UTAS. It's currently just a car park, so a vacant lot. I'll just pull in here. So this was earmarked here for what was called the STEM building. So when Raston was in charge, he applied for federal funding and almost got a grant to change this site into the Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths precinct. But this housing crisis has happened here, and I'll just scoot on down a little bit. This housing crisis that's happened in Tasmania has led to a lot of investment in trying to get a lot more homes built so that people aren't basically homeless. And UTAS isn't immune from that either. So UTAS needs to provide accommodation for all its students. And so what this site's going to be is actually a residential college in the vein of that one you can see on my right. So that's the other UTAS college. About 450, 480 beds in there, I think. So there'll be something similar that will be put up here. It's going to be a vertical village. I'll just move on now. It's going to be a vertical village. I think in part inspired by Rufus Black, our new VC, because he's very interested. I think he spent some time in a university college himself, so university accommodation. And he's very big on, I think I'm down here, he's very big on the experience of actually living and experiencing university. Okay, I'll come back to that vertical village in just a moment. I want to talk more about that. But the other thing that UTAS has bought is this mid-city hotel here. You can see that Hobart Mid-City Hotel. They've bought about, I can't remember how many rooms they've bought. A few rooms anyway. So there it is. I'm just going to take a quick look at that. There it is there. Mid-City Hotel. Curiously, right up the top, fucking hell. So I basically just turned into a one-way street there, which is absolutely stupid. This is the problem with recording when it's meant to be riding. In any case, that Mid-City Hotel, it has a executive spa suite at the very top. That's curious. I wonder who would actually get that. Would it just be a lucky dip, or would somebody have to pay more for that? Or would they knock it down in the interest of equity so that nobody got jealous of anybody else? All right, so the last development I want to check in on is the Hedberg, which is the creative arts precinct, which will be opposite the hospital. You can see the hospital getting built there. It's very close to being finished now, I think. Actually, I have no idea about that. It just looks close to me. All right, so the Hedberg's going to come up here on my left. I might just pull in and we can get a better look at it. There's the hospital on my right. So there's an extension to the Royal Hobart Hospital. And then here's the Hedberg on my left. A lot of work done on that since I was last here. No entry, okay. All right, so there she is. Look at that, man. I wonder if I can get a better look at that. Let me just get on the bench here. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. It's a huge, tremendous space. Looks gorgeous. And see, they're incorporating the old Hedberg, which was an old garage back in the 1930s. So doing some tremendous work, and they're going to close the Theatre Royal, which is the theatre here, and one of the oldest theatres in the world, in Australia, I think, for the interim. That they're actually building the building. It's looking great. I'm still hopeful of that mezzanine there. You can see on the picture there is. I'm just waiting for this truck to pass. Oh, of course. Oh, I can see through the gap. So there's a tree there on a kind of a mezzanine on the outskirts. Oh, sorry, on the side of the building. I'm very hopeful for that. I'll be very disappointed if there's not a tree on the side of the building. All right, so that's just a brief recap of UTAS's progress of moving into the city. And that's good for two reasons. The more students that get in the city, the more pressure that will place on having good infrastructure, transport infrastructure, to tie Hobart City with the Sandy Bay campus, because those teaching spaces and those teaching laboratories are not yet here. Students love bikes, so I think we're going to see some results about that. And we already have, actually, and I'm going to share that in another video. The council's already making small adjustments that are making bigger difference to the way in which I'm able to ride and my safety on the road. And the second thing, of course, is if all the students are in the city, there's going to be pressure to bring those essential services and those teaching spaces into the city. So, yeah, watch this space and I'll keep you updated as much as I can. Thanks for watching. Give me a green bike.